A roadside stand. The little old house was out with a little new shed. In front, at the edge of the road, where the traffic sped, a roadside stand that too pathetically pled. It would not be fair to say for a dole of bread, but for the sum of the money, the cash, whose flow supports the flower of cities from singing and withering faint. The polished traffic passed with the mind ahead, or if ever sighed a moment, then out of sorts at having the landscape marred with the artless paint of signs that with yen turned wrong and yes turned wrong, offered for sale wild berries in wooden quads, or crook-necked golden squash with silver warts, or beauty rest in a beautiful mountain scene. You have the money, but if you want to be mean, why keep your money and go along? The hurt to the scenery would not be my complaint, so much as the trusting sorrow of what is unsaid. Here far from the city we make our roadside stand, and ask for some city money to feel in hand, to try if it will not make our being expand, and give us the life of the moving pictures promise that the party in power is said to be keeping from us. It is in the news that all these pitiful kin ought to be bought out and mercifully gathered into live-in villages next to the theatre and the store, where they won't have to think for themselves anymore, while greedy good doers, beneficent beasts of prey, swarm over their lives, enforcing benefits that are calculated to soothe them out of their wits, and by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day, destroy their sleeping at night the ancient way. Sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear the thought of so much childish longing in vain. The sadness that lurks near the open window there, that waits all day in almost open prayer for the sequel of brakes, the sound of a stopping car, of all the thousands selfish cars that pass, just one to inquire what a farmer's prices are, and one did stop but only to plough up grass, in using the yard to back and return around, and another to ask the way to where it was bound, and another to ask could they sell it a gallon of gas? They could not, they had none. Didn't it see? No. In country money, the country scale of gain, the request lift of spirit has never been found, or so the voice of the country seems to complain. I can't help owning the great relief it be to put these people at one stroke out of their pain, and then next day as I come back into the scene, I wonder how I should you how I should like you to come to me and offer to put me gently out of my pain. A roadside stand by Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet. He wrote more about rural life in New England. He received Pulitzer Prize for poetry. In 1922, he was elected as Poet Laureate of Vermont. His writings always echo the human reactions to natural processes. The poet sympathizes with roadside deprived people for their poor life conditions and pathetic situations in the landscape. Their old house with a new shed at the roadside is constructed to have a fair business with the people who sped it. Their hope and belief over the city people is completely shattered as no one turned. This pathetic situation let their business down. The roadside stand never represents their substandard products or their inability to lead their life. Their growth depends on their transactions at the roadside. This system is not encouraged by anyone. When these city people pass the roadside, They spare few moments at the roadside stand without making any purchase. Its presence in the beautiful scenery does not give them any real pleasure. Their enjoyment in the landscape is disturbed by wrong signal post. The artless paint at the roadside signals posts offered the roadside shopkeepers to sell the berries in wooden cart and crooked neck golden squash with silver warts. The poet further loses his hope about the city folk. He expresses his sadness in a depressed state of mind by saying that if they did not want to buy anything from the poor peasants, let them go ahead. They don't need to pay attention. But he also strongly feels that such act would not hurt these peasants, these poor farmers. According to them, this trusting sorrow further continues as people in the power want to keep them away from the landscape. They wish to have some money in their hand, and they believe that the money would definitely make some differences in their life standards. Robert Frost then explains how their life conditions are completely damaged by the greedy land brokers. Their merciless act to move them to the theater and the store will definitely disturb their regular sleep at night. Such unprecedented event will bring many sea changes in their life. In the next phase of their life, they experience unstoppable painful experience by every people who sped the roadside. The sound of stopping cars never guarantee any sale at their shop. Instead, it would become an become a normal query about the directions, and another asked about a gallons of gas. The poet questioned that how they didn't see the displayed items. In the final stanza, the poet clarifies his stand in agreeing and fighting for these poor peasants. He wonders how he would face them by the solution that he has offered. He understands that relieving them from all their sufferings and longing is not an easy task to anyone. Throughout the poem, the poet tries to exhibit the real life conditions of these people and their vision to achieve happy and relieving life from sorrowful and pity life. Their decent way of living by displaying the best products at the roadside portray their honest life. It also reveals their means of life in the toughest life conditions without peaceful life conditions at roadside. According to the poet, to give them a happy life, the vehicles on the roadside have to make a visit to the roadside stand a moment. The people in the vehicle should pay their attention towards these poor peasants. That alone will bring a permanent solution in their life.